Keep your distance. Who are you and what do you want? It's been stiff lately. Since I was attacked, I've been afraid to sleep in my bed. I know, it's irrational. Now I can't hardly sleep at all. I just nod off from time to time. I'm so tired. Make it quick. Yeah, what about? That obvious, huh? Yeah, I'm not from around here. But where I'm from, they don't want me, so that's just as well. Really, with my reputation, there aren't many places I can go that'll have me. My own family's blackballed me, and they got a lot of clout. Oh, sure, that's all I need. Someone telling people around here about my reputation. I'll be run out of here before dawn. Forget it. I've heard of them. Ultralux, right? Yeah, that'd be a step in the right direction. They'd never have me, though. Yeah? Okay, maybe I will. Hell, anything's better than this. Thanks.
My buddies at McCarran will find the asshole that destroyed our monolith.
Beg your pardon, but could I trouble you to turn over your weapons? My deepest apologies for the slightest inconvenience. You have my assurance that everything will be returned upon your departure. But we simply can't have anyone waving their weapons around in the hotel. It's not the atmosphere we wish to cultivate. Please, enjoy your stay. Adieu.
Any word as to our arrangement? Of his own volition? My goodness, you are very professional, aren't you? Well, he's sure to be a hit at our next banquet. You have done very well in keeping this business low-key. I appreciate your discretion. I'll be sure to drop your name during our functions. I hope you understand what a tremendous boon this will be to your standing in society. We'll know after tonight's banquet at 7 o'clock. I'll only be telling everyone what they've eaten after they've eaten it. That way, they will all have crossed the same silly taboo. They'll have to reconsider it, even Marjorie. It's all image with her anyway. She just needs to realize the only difference between savage and sophisticated is the proper seasoning. Indeed. Ah, you're back. You're always a welcome guest here. I certainly did. Philippe created an extraordinary amuse-bouche from the flesh of the late Mr. St. Clair. Everyone at the banquet loved it. I told them what it was, and the room was quiet for a moment, but then we all had a hearty laugh. Now that it's been accepted, it will become a regular course for us. It's a new and exciting frontier for our chef. I've never seen him so cheerful. Oh, I very much doubt that. What fun would it be if everyone could have it? Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if our chef used it here and there as a secret ingredient to make his dishes really come alive. I should think so, but it would be up to Marjorie. I have, however, told her how instrumental you were in revolutionizing our cuisine, and she knows what we stand to gain from a ruler who supports it. Have a word with her, see what she says. I dare say she'll be more receptive with these new developments. Indeed.
Welcome to the Ultralux. I do hope it exceeds your every expectation. Why, it's splendid. Simply to die for. Mortimer told me about you, you know. What a pair of mischief makers you two are. But the new entrees are fresh and bold, and I have the two of you to thank for it. I don't care for their incivility or the hodgepodge of sporting equipment that passes for fashion with them. Nevertheless, I have heard Caesar has a stately dignity about him, and I understand his policies will agree with our new menu. I prefer Mr. House, of course, but he may not be around forever, and the NCR will surely set back our cuisine. Tell your Mr. Caesar we are with him.
I'd wager that the Army's sending elite units our way, right as we speak.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. Awe, true to Caesar.
You'll be a legionary yet. You're slowing down. Pick it up.
Awe, true to Caesar.
Was there more for us to discuss? Excellent. Had you simply killed them, the Omertas would have sent another group after Martina eventually. You've saved me the trouble of coming up with a more permanent solution. And Martina is free to go about her business as usual. Well done.
It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar. We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it. The trader Dale Barton salvaged it from a military base in Arizona. Yuma, I believe. The best marksmen of the NCR are usually at the rear of any battle. The gun will allow us to strike at them. The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told. You could probably find a spare firing mechanism there. Wale.
True to Caesar.
The last time we met, I believe we were talking about the White Glove Society. I appreciate your concern, but I'm in excellent health. and we have other matters to discuss. Have you been successful in your efforts to recruit the White Glove Society? Good. It will be valuable to have allies on the Strip when Hoover Dam is taken. Now, as for your next assignment, I want you to destroy the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. It's not a full-strength chapter, mind you. The profligates... Oh. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. The Brotherhood. Them. I don't know. There have been a couple. Don't. Just leave it alone. I'm fine. Now, what was I saying? Right. Look for the Brotherhood's bunker around, Hidden Valley. My scouts saw some things. I'm going to bed. We'll talk later.
Our way, true to Kaiser.
Hello, friend. How can Mother Pearl be of help today? You may find one in the workshop. You're a friend to the tribe, so I trust it will not find its way into the wrong hands. Don't get blown up.
You're mine.
There have been reports that the NCR is moving more and more troops.
me over quickly.
Aha! Flank them! Whoa! You may have questionable methods, outsider, but some of us realize you get the job done. We've talked Torres into giving you access to gear for a little cheaper, to help out with your travels. Hope it helps. Watch out! If it's not broken power armor, it's broken electrical fixes.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. I'll wait.
You're funny looking.
What the fuck was that? I've seen crippled slaves move faster.
Our way. True to Caesar.
Has the Brotherhood been destroyed? If I say the Brotherhood should be destroyed, it's necessary. My Legion can win a fight against the Brotherhood of Steel, but it would be costly. Your job is to make sure there's no Brotherhood for us to fight. Take care of the Brotherhood. Maybe then we can have a conversation. I said take care of the Brotherhood. Then we talk. Maybe. It's called an auto doc. As the name suggests, it's an automated physician, more or less. He can treat broken bones, cuts, punctures, scrapes. Sometimes I bestow its use upon someone I favor. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture that forbids painkillers and is largely ignorant of medical science. Very well. This latest victory brings to a close my efforts to reshape the power balance of the Mojave. And not a minute too soon. I want you to join me in my tent. You and I are going to have a private conversation. All right, let's state the obvious. There's something wrong with me. The headaches started a couple of months ago. They weren't too bad at first, but now they come frequently and they're debilitating. For the past 2 weeks, my left leg has been dragging. It's stiffer, hard to move. And you've seen me blank out. Lucia says I stare into space, blink a few times, then keep talking like nothing happened. So what's the diagnosis? I figured as much. Congratulations, you just became my personal physician. Do you have what you need to treat my condition? Then gather those items together and hurry back to perform the operation. I don't know how long I've got. It's never had a functional diagnostic scanning module. Without that, it's useless for surgery. It's been said that the autodocs were standard equipment in the underground vaults where mankind survived when the bombs fell centuries ago. You can search the vaults, but every autodoc my Legion has run across has been stripped for parts long before we found it. Some of my scouts did report an abandoned vault near Nellis Air Force Base. Overrun by ghouls, they said. Maybe the infestation has been there long enough to keep scavengers out. Why don't you go and see? Do that, and try not to take too long.
Awe, true to Kaiser.
Awe, true to Kaiser. Awe, true to Kaiser.
You're back. Do you need medical attention? Because you're a friend of the followers, I can give you a bit of a discount. Take care. You're back. Because... Take care.
Hello.
Though you aren't of the Legion, you've aided us more than once. We acquire many items on our raids, some useless to us, some forbidden. I've provided you the location of a drop box where you can obtain these items. The box will be replenished every few days. Please be aware that we'll assume any items left in the box will be unwanted and be removed and destroyed. Stay an ally of the Legion, and we will share our loot with you. If you start working against us or become an enemy, our deal ends. True to Kaiser.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. Awe.
Caesar sleeps, but doesn't awaken. I fear it is only a matter of days before death claims him. You will answer to me until such a time as Caesar is able to resume leadership. Well done. It will be very useful in the coming battle against the snipers the NCR will no doubt have hidden in the hills near the dam. Legate Lanius will take Caesar's place at the head of the Legion. The Legate is a fine warrior, and the Legion will do well under his command. Wale.
Awe. True to Caesar.
Caesar is dead. At your hands. This crime cannot go unpunished. What you say is true. I apologize for my rash action. It was out of grief and loyalty. I hope you understand. Caesar's death is regrettable, but we can't let it stand in the way of the Legion's goals. Our scouts have reported that the NCR's President Kimball will be visiting the dam. This is an excellent opportunity to assassinate him. You are to meet with Cato Hostilius. He'll have more information on ways to eliminate Kimball. Wale.
I'll mourn Caesar. He was a great man.
Lead the way.
Looks like break time's over.
Move along.
Oh! Hi again! Can I help you with something else? You already took care of Mr. House? Wow, you work fast! Mr. House is out of the picture and you have the platinum chip? Wonderful! Let's go.
Fucking Crocker couldn't find his ass if it wasn't on his backside.
Hi! This is big, huh? A very big moment. Here goes. I'll just take that platinum chip off your hands. Thanks. Wish me luck. Wow. Mr. House had quite a setup here. I can access his databanks and view telemetry on every Securitron on the network. Wait. So... that's what the platinum chip does. Interesting. Mr. House had a whole demonstration planned for you. Just head downstairs to the lowest level to check it out. You'll see.
Step closer to the demonstration area, please. Okay, so you're familiar with Securitrons by now, obviously. I mean, some of your best friends are Securitrons, right? Our titanium alloy housing does a good job of protecting our delicate electronic insides from small arms, fire, and shrapnel. Our left arm contains an X-25 Gatling laser, quite deadly against soft targets at medium range. That looks like fun. And for close-range suppression and crowd control, we have this handy-dandy 9mm submachine gun. Nice. All of this is old hat, right? Here is where it gets interesting. Turns out that those are our secondary weapons. All this time we've been running the Mark I operating system, which doesn't have drivers for our primary weapons. Imagine! Now watch this. I'm downloading the Mark II OS to all Securitrons on the network. Makes quite a difference. With the M235 missile launcher, we can engage ground and air targets at close range. And a rapid-firing A-28 grenade launching system makes us deadly in close-range engagements. Woo! Look at that! The OS upgrade also includes drivers for our onboard auto repair systems. Just try to hurt us now! Altogether, this software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. You can come back up and see me or be on your way. I know you're a busy person.
You did a super job wrapping things up, and I'm not just saying that because I have to. Here's some big news. I decoded a military radio transmission, and it turns out the NCR president, Aaron Kimball, is going to visit Hoover Dam. I guess he wants to boost the troops' morale, but according to projections Mr. House made, he has an 83.75% chance of being assassinated. Whoops. Anyway, it looks like Mr. House thought it was important to keep President Kimball alive. Mr. House ran projections on how the NCR public will react to a defeat at Hoover Dam. Overwhelmingly, they'll blame Kimball. But if Kimball dies at Hoover Dam, there's no obvious scapegoat for them to blame, so they'll blame New Vegas instead. So that means reduced tourism for up to 5 years. The equations are pretty complicated. Mr. House sure liked numbers. You are so misunderstood. Well, it's their loss. Forget about the president. We've got something more important to take care of. This gadget I'm handing you is called an override module. Mr. House had 2 of these made years and years ago. Just like him to think ahead. Take the module to the El Dorado substation and attach it to the power control terminal. I'll handle the rest. I'll use the substation to send a huge jolt of electricity to the Lucky 38. Turns out this casino has its own reactor. All it needs is a jump start. With the reactor running at full tilt, I can boost the transmission strength of the Lucky 38's command and control network. I'm talking direct tactical control of hundreds of upgraded Securitrons at vast distances. You know that's gonna come in handy. Great! When this is taken care of, we'll be all set for the Legion to make its move.
Be sure to offer work.
Lead the way.
I need to talk to you about something, if you have a minute.
Any day now? Caesar's going to try to march across Hoover Dam and kick NCR out of the Mojave. We're getting caught up in something important out here. Hell, after how you handled Benny, you're practically right in the middle of all this. I know I'm just along for the ride, but it's made me think about the past and how I might be able to help out. I wasn't always with the followers, or with the NCR. My late father was an officer in a group called the Enclave, a remnant of America's pre-war government. Memories being short around here, not a whole lot of people remember them. But they did bad things. Terrorized communities, kidnapped people. Eventually someone stopped them. I was born a few years later at a military base on the coast, a place called Navarro. A lot of different places. I only know what I was told. Some of them were cut down by the NCR and the Brotherhood. Some of them went east. My mother never told me what happened to my father, but she and I went south with some others and integrated into the NCR. When the NCR learned that Enclave personnel had integrated, we kept moving to the fringes. It's one of the reasons why I wound up out here. After the Enclave's command structure fell apart, it was only a matter of time before Navarro was overrun by NCR forces. My mother and I left with some of the troopers from my father's old unit, the same people I've kept in contact with over the years. Anyone who didn't get out was killed by the NCR. Even some of the ones who escaped were eventually hunted down by the Brotherhood of Steel. The Enclave did a lot of bad things, but there were good people at Navarro. Good people with a lot of experience. Not many of them are alive anymore, but I think they can make a difference in the fight against Caesar. That's a hard question to answer. I know I don't want the Legion to take Hoover Dam. So militarily, yes, I want them to help NCR. If possible, I'd like to figure out a way to help the NCR win Hoover Dam without holding New Vegas. Great. I'd like you to talk to the old-timers, the remnants. I don't think I can convince them by myself. To them, I'm still a kid. But you're a big part of what's happening out here. When you talk to them, they'll understand how important this all is. I've kept in contact with them over the years, so I know where you can find them. But I doubt they'll open up to you unless I come along. I know I'm not always the most serious guy around, but this means a lot to me. Thanks.
Obedience is virtuous.
Your travels been going all right? Told you everything about us, did he? Well, it's been a while since I've had my hands on the controls of a vertibird. There's a chance I could crash us in the middle of Lake Mead. That place seems to attract aircraft for some reason. But if I get one more chance to fly, count me in. I'll be there. My part of the passphrase is dear. I was never happier than when I was in the cockpit. I was able to go just about anywhere and everywhere, limited only by the fuel I could carry. There were more than a few missions where I took the scenic route home just so I could stay in the air. Caught hell for it every time, but worth it. Some of the things we did were questionable, I know. That's just how it was back then. Figure I've done enough good to make up for any sins, anyhow. Watch your six out there.
What's up? Since my mother died, Daisy's been the only woman in my life. She was the only other woman close to my father, too. She flew him out on over a dozen missions, including his last. I've always been close to Daisy. There have been some good men along the way, but lovers make poor confidants. Daisy never had children of her own, so she was always there to listen. Being in the Enclave didn't mean much to her. She just loved to fly. It broke her heart to be grounded. As screwed up as it sounds, at least she was a part of something. Granted, it was something admittedly pretty bad, but it was something. If you spent the first half of your life flying Enclave troopers in a vertibird, I suppose picking over pre-war rocket parts doesn't quite compare.
Well, it's about damn time. What took you... Oh. I've been in the Reaper's shadow for a long time now, and I thought he'd finally showed up to collect. He's just mocking me now. Thought I recognized the fellow with you. So what's this reunion all about then? Well, now there's an interesting idea. Do a bit of good before we're all dead and forgotten. You can count me in. Oh, and in case Arcade forgot to mention it, there's a 5-word passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My word is old. Appropriate, huh?
If I had to pick anyone who didn't belong in the Enclave, it would definitely be Johnson. He hated what the Enclave was doing. Day to day, week to week, he would question orders, subvert mission objectives, do anything he could to serve without serving. It's amazing he was never court-martialed. He always had good things to say about my father. Said I was like him in a lot of ways. I wish I knew. I wonder if he would. It's pointless, I know, but sometimes I wonder what he wanted me to be. Maybe being a doctor in the middle of Nevada wasn't exactly what he had in mind for his little boy.
Sticking around for the attractions? Hello, Arcade. Making some new friends, are you? Why the need for a bunch of old war horses like us? Swooping in on a vertibird, guns blazing? Haven't done that in years, but all right, I'm in. None of this means a thing if the rest of the group doesn't show up, though. Oh, and you'll need my part of the passphrase to get into the bunker. Navarro. I miss those days sometimes. We all had a purpose, you know? I admit that some of the folks in charge were pretty ruthless. The rest of us, though, we were just trying to civilize things. The NCR was still new, and it didn't look like they'd last all that long. Then we lost the oil rig, and shortly after that, the base at Navarro. Nobody left except us remnants. Internal sabotage took down the oil rig. Never did get the full story. The NCR took out Navarro, saying we posed a threat to the region. I was the officer in charge, and Johnson and Moreno were my heavy hitters. Henry handled tech things, and Whitman flew the chopper. Johnson and Moreno never got along, and I had my hands full keeping those two apart some days. It was a difference in philosophy, mostly. Mercy was not part of Moreno's vocabulary. Uh-huh.
Judah Krieger is the glue that's kept us all together over the years, and with good reason. Anyone who can command Moreno and Johnson in the same unit without somebody getting fragged is one hell of a leader. Krieger was polite and kind, but never warm. He always did his best to make me feel welcome in the group. I think he did it out of a sense of loyalty to my father. Loyalty means a lot to Judah. Not loyalty to the Enclave, or even the ideals they fought for, but to the people who served with him. Sometimes I wonder how much of my father they see in me. They went through a lot together, but my family went through it too. I'm glad they've watched out for me all these years. Maybe someday I can return the favor.
Bother someone else. I don't want anything to do with you. Dr. Henry, he's one of you. Go speak with him instead of me. Finally.
Is there something else I can do for you? I'm intrigued, so I'll go to this reunion. I'll be handing things over to Calamity, so talk to her if anything comes up. Oh, you'll need my word from the passphrase to get into the bunker. Friends. Don't forget it. Yes, yes.
Doc Henry always was a hard one to figure out. It didn't seem to matter whether he was working with humans or dogs. He had an equal lack of affection for both. A regular Diogenes. I'm not sure what the man was after. Knowledge is power, but to what end for Henry, I have no idea. The problem was what mattered to him, not its practical impact. He simply solved riddles because they existed. Not everyone dreams of being a revolutionary, I suppose. Maybe we can't all change the world. Maybe it's enough just to do good for the short time that we're here. No one's going to sing Doc Henry's praises when he's gone, but he's probably saved more lives than I ever will.
Looks like I forgot to lock the doors again. If you're with the NCR, get out. This place is mine, and I'm not leaving. Been a while, Arcade. So, what's the point of all this? Can't find any younger mercenaries? Is that right? The million-dollar question is, who exactly are we settling? I wouldn't mind cutting down a few platoons of NCR troopers with my old Gatling laser. All right, then. I'll show up at this gathering of yours. It might be good to see the others. Johnson excluded. Arcade might have mentioned there's a passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My part is, remember. Heavy weapons, trooper. Nothing better than hosing down a target with an excess of bullets and laser fire. By the time I got through with things, not much was left standing. Any morons who didn't run when they saw me coming got what they deserved. Back then, it was war. If we'd been on the winning side, I'd be called a hero. Oh, like you wouldn't believe. The NCR makes a habit out of wrecking homes. I came out here to get away from them. Didn't work out so well. Next thing I know, I'm squatting in their land. Never mind that I already been living here for years. I don't do anything. I'm retired. I was a soldier. Why do you even care? I came out here to forget about the past, so quit bringing it up.
Moreno took the fall of the Enclave hard. He never questioned his orders, never questioned the legitimacy of what the Enclave was doing. To him, it was all one unbroken chain, from Washington to Richardson. When we left Navarro, I remember looking up at Moreno. He said, "Kiss America goodbye, boys." When we left the Enclave behind, the love in him burned itself out. Now there's just a bitter old man left. I suppose you're right. When you're part of something for that long, maybe it's impossible to let go without losing part of yourself. Moreno may be a stubborn son of a bitch, but at least he's loyal. What's up? I think you're on the right track. The only way to ensure relative safety and independence for the people of New Vegas is to prevent others from taking control of the region. That means no NCR, no Mr. House, and no Legion. See you around.
Hey there. Glad to see you made it here all right. So, who are we going up against? Marino, Johnson, Henry, and I will be the boots on the ground. Whitman will stay with the vertibird. Then that's the plan. We're gonna have a problem with Moreno, though. He won't like that we're helping the NCR. You'll have to talk to him. You've got only one chance at this. I know Moreno. Once he's made up his mind about something, there's no changing it.
If the NCR ain't got to worry about Caesar no more, it should worry about improving the lives of regular folks around here.
I didn't come all the way out here just so we could save the fucking NCR. I'm out. I can't believe you've actually talked me into this. Fine, I'm in. But don't expect me to hold my fire if any NCR troops get in the way.
Thanks for doing this. Getting them all back together again. I'll be honest, when Moreno started going off, I didn't think we'd all be walking out of there in one piece. I still don't know how this is all gonna shake out in the end, but at least the Enclave can atone a bit for all the damage it's done. I've been wondering about Daisy and the others for so long, I still haven't figured out what I should do. I mean, I'm not like them. I was born at Navarro, and my father served with them, but I wasn't really part of the Enclave. It seems presumptuous of me to think I could join the fight, even if this is a cause worth fighting for. Because I know when fighting breaks out at the dam, all hell is going to break loose in Freeside. They're gonna need every doctor they can get. Good point. You've been encouraging the others to stand up and fight. Maybe I should take the same advice. After all, I also lived in Navarro. There's something I need to go do, but I'll catch up with you later. Thanks again for your help with the others. It means a lot to me.